Yeah, they're like blocked.
Are they all part of
Hey,
Like blocked when they make your fingers dry.
hey, we should talk about this comic.
So anyway,
Spider strapped to a lizard with a Mayan death god.
this is great. I'm fully on board. This is their 3-week break, and then there's a whole new series of weekly comics with the same Spidey team. Plus, they're adding people like Mark Waid.
Yeah, that's
Very kidsy.
years out of the con.
Yeah, out of the con. Mark Waid's going to be doing.
Which I think is fun. He's a fun writer, and I think it's a really good fit on it. Your friend Adam Wade is writing it, which is very exciting.
really good.
So here's my problem.
Boo.
I feel like I liked this as like a little break because I didn't like the supervillain that's currently in a cocoon, and hopefully when he comes out this time he won't look horrible.
Who's that?
No, let's not get into it.
Freak.
It's just like
It's a guy
name's
named Freak.
Freak, yeah.
Basically, he injects himself with all these animal stem cells.
He's a
every time
he's a drug
he
use
comes back as a new
villain.
type of animal.
Wow.
The big Spider-Man's gonna beat him by taking him to a meeting, and they're going to talk and be like, "Hi, my name is Freak, and I have a drug problem." Spider-Man's gonna be like, "Way to go, Freak! I'll see you in a couple months." No, I just feel like this is drawn really well, and I was like, okay, this is kind of starting to get the Spider-Man feel a little bit back to it. But I was just upset that like they built up this Mayan god as like Spidey can't, fight him because he's a god and he can't really stand up to him. So it was like the last 6 pages, Spider-Man like threw a web capsule at him. He encompassed him, and he just stood there for the last 6 pages as time ran out, and then he disappeared. And I was like, wow, awesome, great writing.
Wow.
Yeah, great time telling us to his wife.
Yeah. Wow. I'm breaking it down here.
Just when we're trying to get past it.
Spider-Man's not married anymore. He's a single dude.
Yeah.
And why?
Something.
Because he made a deal with the devil. Which makes complete sense. Yay, writer!
I'm so glad this is a comedy show because I feel if this was real, I'd be
No, it's real.
Yeah, but seriously, he made a deal with.
Really?
I completely lost track.
Yeah.
No, I think we broke some news here.
Oh, cool. All
Boy,
right.
I'm so glad mutants are sane.
Wow.
Oh man, we gotta move on. Fear Agent number 20. This is one of our favorite books on the show. What do you guys think about this issue?
Love it.
It's awesome, yeah.
Here's the deal with this book is it's very hard to give a plot summary other than it's this drug guy in space. Because,
Cool though, right?
yeah, which is pretty cool. Drunk. Because every single issue almost, Rick Remender changes the status quo almost completely for the book.
People
It's
die.
totally insane. I
Someone got
don't
their
know.
face bit off in this.
Yeah.
I don't know how he can keep this up because he makes you feel so much for each of the main characters.
I feel
and then
bad.
the next
I feel
issue
bad
he
for
just
this.
eliminates them in the most horrible ways. It's absolutely
Everyone's so
the
guilty of
darkest
this
book. The darkest book out right now. Every time you think Heath, the main character, can't get lower, he knocks him down around.
The one thing I think is weird is so in this book, Earth is destroyed and everyone's scattered around the cosmos.
Ooh.
And this guy, he just has to reach anywhere he is and he pulls out a bottle of Jack Daniels. It's convenient, or the aliens took the Jack Daniels distillery up into space with them and are continuing to mass produce an old number 7 at a regular pace.
You know way more about Jack Daniels than I did.
I'm only being a drunk guy in space.
Aspiration.
I got to talk to Rick at the con, and
Rick. He love this guy.
and he's just as insane as his writing.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, how can you keep this up?
Did he kill you at the end of the conversation?
No, I ran away.
It's true.
I was like, look, Chewbacca.
Which one?
There's always a good one and a bad one. You're like,
And I guess Fear Agent is really, really excellent. Highly recommend picking it up. Definitely go back and get the trades.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Start from the beginning.
Another really great book to talk about is Incredible Hercules 116 by Fred Van Lente and Greg Pak.
Yeah.
This book is really fun, right?
Yes, it is. It's great.
Goodbye.
They're setting up, this book's going to cross over into the whole secret invasion thing, which ought to be an interesting kind of corollary to that whole madness.
Yeah.
They're forming a god squad to take down the Skrull god, which sounds ridiculous, and they're going to make it totally ridiculous, which I think is kind of the fun part.
What I think is cool about this,
I'm in other dimensions, dude. Our stories have to make sense.
Yeah. Oh, slam. Nice, nice slam. Well, this is a big crossover. I mean, you were around during a lot of X-Men crossovers. How did you feel back then about it?
Biggest fucking mistake.
Really?
You get that quote probably from about me, from Easy, from
Wow. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Like drugs, you can't do it just once.
No?
And the more you do, the more you
You're wasted.
want to come back, and the bigger it has to get, and then certain 6'7" editors-in-chief come in and flash their royalty checks and smile and say, we're going to do this again, and you just want to shoot them. But
Now you're on an island.
now I'm on an island.
well, what I like about this comic is that I feel like they're really having a lot of fun writing it, and it shows. Like at first when I heard the premise behind it, I was like, nah.
It's basically Hercules and the seventh smartest boy in the world traveled around the country with their coyote.
What's smartest boy?
Seventh smartest boy.
So that pitch didn't sell me, but actually the comic is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I think the thing that's really great about it is they weave in
That's right.
very well the Greek myths involving Hercules
Yeah.
into every single book.
Oh,
So,
that's
smart.
so it's very smart. It works very well. This issue in particular deals with, and this is going to be a ridiculous statement, but how true is myth, at least when you're dealing with gods in the Marvel universe? And I think that's kind of an interesting question to ask, and they deal with it really effectively. So,
I want to know why there are no Asian represented.
I would imagine because a lot of the writers don't know them.
Oh, okay.
well, there's a book called Crossing Midnight, actually.
was very
That's for Vertigo,
Yeah.
which deals a lot with Asian myths, and it's excellent.
That's Vertigo.
That is Vertigo.
There's one on the God Squad.
Oh, is there?
One Asian on the God Squad. Congratulations.
Also, a Canadian god.
Yeah.
Diversity.
Yeah.
That would be a first.
Yeah.
So an audience member takes a watermelon to the head.
All right, let's move on and talk about Powers Annual #1. This is actually the first issue of Powers that has ever been written by Mike Oeming, which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting. Bendis and Oeming have done the series since the beginning. Bendis provides, I think, the beginning and the end, but otherwise the bulk of it is by Oeming, and the bulk of it is a caveman grunting.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's like he was writing my life story.
A lot of the story.
I think Omi did, yeah.
Okay. Just wondering, because if it was Bendis, that would explain a lot.
Yeah.
I'll just write the front and back page, and you can write the middle.
Yeah. All the
It's this issue basically is calling back to an issue earlier in the series where it was like Powers, but they were inexplicably monkeys. People loved that issue, loved it. And this is calling back. It's just in the middle of, there was one issue in the middle where suddenly it was monkeys that vaguely looked like them and it was never explained. This issue, they are now cavemen that kind of look like the main characters and it's never really explained.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but I think they are the main characters. I think that's what they're setting up.
Yes, I think that's
Dan,
what
I was hoping you were going to say, and they're explained.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but I think that's what they're getting towards is that there's some things that have never been explained about the characters and there's some sort of immortal god thing going on, whatever it is.
I think
See,
Marvel's.
I take that position with my stuff. All I get are letters saying, you son of a bitch, you never explain anything.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah.
So much for humor.
Well, then-